Hi, I'm Dr. Mackie of STEM NOLA and STEM Global Action. Thank you to the organizers for inviting us to participate in the IES Math Summit. Mathematics is very dear to my heart because I have a BS in mathematics from Morehouse College and a BS, MS, and PhD in mechanical engineering from Georgia Tech. But it was the mathematical foundation that I got in my life that has allowed me to have the amazing career in engineering and math that I have now. And it is my goal as the founder of STEM NOLA and STEM Global Action is to bring STEM and especially mathematics to every kid in every community in every corner of this place called the United States. 10 years ago, Tracy, my wife, and I founded STEM NOLA to expose and inspire and engage the children of New Orleans to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in a very impactful, effective way. It started when our 9-year-old son came home and said, "Daddy, I don't like math and science anymore." And I said, "Boy, you're crazy. It's in your DNA." I said, "When your mom was playing that crazy classical music, I was whispering Newton's laws and the axiom of choice to your stomach." He said, "No, Daddy, I don't like the way my teachers teach math and science." He said, "I like to do stuff with my hands," and they only talk to the board. And I said, "Son, we have to fix that." In short, we went into the garage, and every Saturday we would do all these hands-on activities where we would build like little racing cars and then measure the acceleration and the speed of the cars. We would make lungs and measure the capacity of the lungs. But we were doing a lot of hands-on, applying the mathematics to the science and technology, and I saw my son's eyes open up. I saw his confidence increase in a way that I didn't imagine. My other son came out. He started working with us. Before we knew it, all the kids in the neighborhood was in our garage doing all of these hands-on activities, and their parents was talking about how much they were enjoying it. Tracy and I looked at each other and said, "You know what? We believe this is something all children should have." And in 2013, we put up $100,000 of our own dollars, and we went out to the community and started engaging the community in science, technology, engineering, and math. In the last 10 years, we've engaged over 125,000 young people. We engaged college students and trained the college students to facilitate these activities in the communities. We've engaged over 2,500 college students from local universities all across the city of New Orleans. And we've engaged over 1,000 STEM professionals because we invite the STEM professionals to volunteer. And we call that vertical mentoring. We have kids doing science, technology, engineering, and math, hands-on, being facilitated by STEM NOLA staff and college students, and then being mentored by STEM professionals who actually do this on a daily basis. And that's why I'm so excited to be here at IES Math Summit, because we believe that we've created a way to engage kids in mathematics in a way that it makes sense to them. We believe that STEM should be culturally and environmentally relevant, and that's what we do. We have two main programs that we bring to the community. One is called STEM Saturday, another one is called a STEM Fest. A STEM Fest is where we have 60 stations of STEM, and we go and we go into some arena, and we have upward of 1,000 kids just exploring STEM in a way that they can touch and feel and know that it's real. And the kids do all sorts of things to see that, hey, STEM is all around me. And then after we have a STEM Fest, we have these STEM Saturdays. And STEM Saturdays are themed events. It may be force in motion. It may be buoyancy and density. It may be magnets. It may be the circulatory system in the heart, or the respiratory system in the lung. It may be structures and infrastructure. It may be hydrodynamic stability. But every time we have a STEM Saturday, upward of 200 kids come together, and we have a wonderful ratio, 1 college student to 4 students. And then we have STEM professionals intermingled throughout the event. And we engage upward of 200 kids. And the kids come in, we put them into 4 groups. They're grade bands, K through 2nd, 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, and 9th through 12th. And then the activities are scaffolded for each one of those age groups. And the thing about it is that over the 10 years, we realized that kids have begun to understand the why before they understand the theory. So once we understand the why to them, why something works, how it works, then when you apply, give them the math or you give them the physics, it makes sense to them. And we've seen kids flourish because they understood the phenomena first before they got the theoretical math and the theoretical physics or the theoretical engineering. And I'm excited today because I have 2 of my colleagues, Adam and Jazmine, and they're going to introduce to you some of the activities that we take from our STEM Saturday and our STEM Fest, and now we actually work in schools. We work in schools in informal settings. We have a 21st Century grant where we do STEM and math throughout the after-school program. And then we have in-school program where we go in and support the teachers, where we do professional development, or we support the teacher in their pedagogy and help the teacher give the kids the hands-on activities such that the kids can see how the mathematics of the science is applied to everyday activities. So again, my name is Dr. Calvin Mackie. I introduce to you Adam and Jazmine, who's going to demonstrate some activities that we do in classrooms to help bring math to life. Thank you.
All right, hi everyone, my name is Jazmine. I work for STEM NOLA as the STEM Education Manager, and I have my friend here.
Adam, I'm the Programs Manager here at STEM NOLA, and we are here to do some experiments, some activities that we usually do with children. First thing we're going to do is a tetrahedral bubble wand. It's really cool. Bubbles don't have to be bubble wands don't have to be one size or one shape. We're going to show you how to do a couple of those. We're also going to do marshmallow structures with marshmallows and toothpicks, and we're going to teach about structures and a bit of math there too. And last but not least, we're also going to do
acceleration ramp.
An acceleration ramp. We're going to do an acceleration ramp for you guys. And we're going to do some calculations. We're going to do some math. It's sort of getting into physics also. So we're just about to get started right now. So the first few things we have are we're going to start our tetrahedral bubble wand. We're going to start off with 4 pipe cleaners, 5 or 6 sections of straw, and this right here, the bubble solution.
The magic stuff.
The magic bubble solution, that's right, that's right. So the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our first section of pipe cleaner and we are going to feed a straw section onto it. Bring it all the way down and leave about a ½ inch out on the end. Can we go to that overhead camera? That's what it should look like. It's a little horse guy. All right, right on. So next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take our second section of straw, put it on there nice and cozy right next to the first. And guess what, guys? The next thing we're gonna do, another section of straw. And we're gonna slide it on just like so. Now we are going to do a little foldings. We're gonna bring our 2 loose ends up to a point and secure them. Can we get that overhead again? Bring the horse to his tail and bind them together. Right on. Excellent. Thank you, Britt. Then we're going to connect a second part of pipe cleaner to our wand. And we're going to bind it right here. Just tie it tight. Pipe cleaners are pretty easy to bind to each other. Just straighten it out. Excellent. Good stuff. 4, our 4th section of straw we're going onto the top. There we go. And just take care that you're getting all the ends of the tied up pipe cleaner onto the straw. We don't want any hangs. We don't want to catch anybody's fingers. Where are we going next? After this, we have another straw that we're throwing on.
More straws.
More straws. So here we have 5 lengths of straw, 2 lengths of pipe cleaner, and we are going to, do we need another?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. We are going to, if Jazmine can put hers underneath the camera and show us, we're going to take our pipe cleaner and we're going to feed it through. We're going to make a diamond shaped. All right. And we're feeding through that top pipe cleaner through the top. It should look just like so. Very good, very good. Now, for our final piece, sorry, our final piece of pipe cleaner. We need the handle, and we're just wrapping it up, we're binding it together. Now we can finally put on our final piece of straw right onto the top. Making sure everything is fitting in tightly. Now, what you should have is something that looks similar to this. There we go. And we are going to take our top remaining cord and bind it to the top. And we're going to make something that looks sort of like a pyramid, but we're going to call it a tetrahedron. Uh-oh. Let's see. And this is what our finished product is going to look like. So, the next step to this project is we have to test it. My trusty dusty assistant, sorry, you're not dusty, you're just trusty. Please, can you put the solution into the bowl? Now, we don't want you to worry if you can't completely submerge your geometric shape into the bubbles. It'll still work anyway if you just put each side in. So we're gonna dip our base first, all the way in, and just roll our shape on the sides. And voila, what you have. Now, let's see. If I blow this, will I get triangular bubbles? Let's see.
Nope.
Not quite.
You
All
don't
right.
get any triangular bubbles.
Why'd that happen, Jazmine?
Now, normally we have a bubble wand that's flat, right? Because when you blow, that bubble solution wants to grasp around itself, right? And it's gonna make a round shape, right? Because a round shape doesn't have any stops or corners like this triangle. So when you try to blow it, the bubble wants to make a round shape, but it couldn't, right?
Correct.
Exactly.
That's exactly correct.
So with this activity with students, you can talk about triangles, how triangles make a tetrahedron or a cube. You can do this with a cube as well, and you can make those from squares. So this activity we normally do with our younger students, our K2 students.
Yes.
When you're talking about shapes, you also can make a pentagon as well, and you can make a pentagon bubble wand. So there are different shapes that you can use for this activity.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the help, Jazmine. We're going to go right into our second activity.
All right.
And we're going to clear off this.
Move all this out of the way.
Yes. Excellent.
All right, so for our next activity, we can normally use this for like a 3-8 or middle school classroom. We're going to do marshmallow structures, and for each activity that we have, it does come with instructions, and some of them have charts and diagrams that you can show the students. We have here, so for this one, we're gonna talk about shapes and the strength of shapes, or geometry. So as we talked about prior to in the bubble one, we made a tetrahedron, which is made of triangles, right? We also have squares in nature. We have other shapes as well. So what our challenge here today is to, let me see that box. Oh, here it is. What our challenge here today is to build a structure that will support the weight of this box. Now, there's two ways that normal students do this. They can do this doing a cube, and then you can do that using a tetrahedron. So we're gonna see which structure holds the more weight. So Adam, you're gonna build what normal kids build. They're gonna build a cube, and I'm gonna build a couple tetrahedrons, and let's see who's gonna win this challenge.
I think it's gonna be me.
I hope so.
I think it's gonna be me.
All right. So here, I'll give, and this activity all you need for this one is some marshmallows and toothpicks as well. All right. So
these are all the things we can roast marshmallows with except the fire.
Except the fire.
Except the fire. We're not gonna set anything on fire this time.
I hope not.
All right.
So you can give students examples like we have here. of what they could possibly build, but the goal is to make sure that the weight can support that box. And so that's very important because you can build something that can be super weak, or you can build something that's strong.
It all depends on the structure and the weight of the object that we're trying to balance.
And for this one, they can build multiple shapes. They can build multiple squares or multiple tetrahedrons or multiple cubes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You're only limited by the amount of resources you have.
Exactly. So obviously we can edit this part out because it's going to take forever.
Nah, I think you should leave this. All right, excellent. So, and we're going to keep talking because it's very important to let people know exactly what's going on when we're doing it. So what I'm doing is I'm making a very rudimentary cube shape. And though he may be leaning a bit right now, we don't know that the Leaning Tower of Pisa is still standing. I don't know how long ago it was built.
And if you want to, Brett, if you can give me the overhead camera here while we're building those, so you can see how rigid this triangle is. If I put a little push to it, it's not going to have much movement here. All right. But if I use a square, see how their weight isn't supporting each other as much?
Hey, don't talk about my structure.
Hey, I gave you the
just
sign.
Pay attention to your structure.
I
I'll
gave
do
you the
my
sign.
structure. All right. Okay.
All right. So I got one built. How many you got? You got one?
I have one. All right.
We need more marshmallows. We got some more here.
I'm going to build some more. Excellent, excellent, excellent.
If I can get the pack open.
All right, I'm going to take some of them on.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yep, you're
We
welcome.
package them so well they don't come out. All right. Come on.
Let's see. I think I'm going to try a triangle-like structure now,
Okay.
but I'm not copying.
And if students are building this and their structure fails, obviously they're able to go back and redo their structure and see how different structures carry different amounts of weight. So we have a tetrahedron, but a pyramid also can be made, and at the base of the pyramid is a square.
Are the...
All
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Cool, 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 cool. So, I think I want to test my structure.
Oh, you ready?
I think so. I think
You
I want
ready?
to test my first structure.
You can see if it can hold all the weight of that box. I don't have too much confidence, but hey, let's see
Oh,
what
wow.
happens.
All right. Way to be a teammate,
Not
Jazmine.
not
Thank
in
you.
your building skills, but in the nature of a square.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
All right.
Let's see what happens.
This is for all the squares out there.
Oh,
Okay. Maybe we need
Okay.
to work a little bit harder.
all right.
And this is generally what you're going to see with kids. They're going to build something they think is really great, and then you're going to have to tell them, hey, maybe you try it again. Maybe we try something a little bit different.
Exactly. Honestly, a lot of the times we learn from our failures. Failure helps us get to the right answer in science as well. A lot of the time experiments fail, but those failed experiments help us eliminate wrong answers and get us closer to the right answer.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So failure is a part of it, and that's okay.
So now a question that you would pose to a child would be, hey, do you want to keep your structure as it is, or would you like a complete redesign? Or what are some things that you can do to make the structure you built a little bit stronger? Something I'm going to do is I'm going to use 2 toothpicks now on
Try
my
to make
cube.
it stronger?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I'm ready to try my structure on the box, okay?
Excellent. And we have the box magically back.
All right, so I'm gonna move these out of the way so you can see a little better.
Excellent. All right.
All right. And I built 3 separate structures, and I'm gonna see if that's gonna help me hold up.
That's beginner's luck. I don't trust it.
Beginner's luck?
I don't trust it. Let's try. Hold on. Let's see how sturdy it is.
Look at that. Look at the strength of that. Now, what about us using that pyramid? Let's see. You got one. I got one. You think it'll be able to hold?
We have 2 pyramids. Let's see.
Let's see if that'll hold. All right. Let's see.
Oh.
Maybe if we had 3. Oh.
Doesn't look
one
like.
of One of them failed.
That's all right. That was yours, probably.
Oh, that was mine.
Definitely yours.
Well, the reason why that is, you can explain to students that triangles are some of the strongest structures in, nature. Right. So that's why it's able to hold, because once that pressure was put on one, it pushes against each other with the same force. Unlike a square, where we can see just a regular 3D square is kind of wonky, right? A triangle has much more structural integrity. All right.
For now.
For now.
Because this is just my redo.
All right.
All
Hey,
right.
I proved my point, but Adam still has another point to prove. Go ahead. We're ready.
If at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
Okay, we're ready to see. He's gonna reinforce his. Maybe put some cross members on there.
That's where I was going.
Okay. 10.
Some cross beams. Perfect. It's beautiful, right?
Okay.
Can we get the overhead of that? Thank you.
I think mine's look better. Look at that. All right, whatever. And again.
And
We're ready.
5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, our box destroyed.
So
Structure.
I think that's pretty clear evidence that a tetrahedron structure is a bit more sturdy than a cube, at least in terms of holding up this particular box.
Yours can hold up a cloud.
Thank you. Thank you.
All
That's
right.
important also.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we're moving on to our next activity.
Our final one, the big one, the one we recommend for older students, is called acceleration ramp.
So here we're coming with a foam block with 2 popsicle sticks with holes drilled in different levels and heights, and 2 skewers. We also have a measure of ramp and
A car, a hot ride, looks like.
zoom zoom.
So in this activity, we're going to measure the distance the car travels, and we're also going to measure how long it takes the car to get from the top of the ramp to the bottom of the ramp. And that way, we're able to measure the average. We're going to do 3 trials for each level that we have the car. So we have 3 levels: the lower level, mid-level, and then a higher level. And so we'll be able to add all those up and then take the average, and then that way we'll be able to find the speed or acceleration by dividing the distance by the time.
Right. And we can also make some predictions based on what we've seen in the first 2 trials to predict something we think we might see in the last trial.
All right, so as Adam said, it comes with a foam block, these 2 popsicle sticks and the skewer. So all you have to do is stick the popsicle sticks. You may have to use some scissors, cut a little holes in there, and then thread the skewers through. And so after that, we just put our ramp here. I'm gonna move that a little bit this way. All right, put our ramp here. Trying to see which way was the better way. This way? Flip this over? Oh, okay, yeah. That's the way.
Right on.
All right, so we found the way. So we're gonna start with the car. We're gonna measure the distance first. Do you have there should be tape measures over
Yes.
there. And do you have the sheet to
I do.
record? And I have a pen over there. Appreciate
Excellent.
it. So we have on the kit, it comes with instructions. We have an area where they can write down their trial. So our first trial is here. I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna give it a little push. Hopefully it goes well. Here we go. Adam, count down for me.
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
All right.
And our first trial it ran to 13.5 inches.
So you can tell the kids if they want to measure from the back of the tires to the back of the tires, kind of like the long jump, or the front if you want to.
Oh, yes. Well, from the back of the tires, it went 11 inches.
Okay, great. So this is the lowest angle, 11 inches. All right.
Right on. Now we're going to reset.
Oh, goodness.
And we have to reset our ramp, correct?
Well, we're going to do this 3 times, and then
Yes,
we'll do.
understood.
Right.
Gotcha.
Okay. And, oh, not a great one that time. Let's try it again. Oh, off.
That's all right. We almost got it.
All right, let me grab it.
Brett, that's where you cut in with one of those technical,
Technical
standbys.
difficulties. Right. All right, here we go. Uh-oh.
Third time's a charm.
Nope, not the
And it went about 11 inches also.
All right, let's try it again.
Excellent. From the back of the tires, it's 4 inches.
Okay. And let's make sure we keep our measurements the same using inches only. All right, last one for this height.
Back of the tires are at 6 inches. All right.
Next level in the middle.
Second trial run. Go.
Hup.
And the back of the tires ended about at 17 inches.
Okay.
So we're already starting to see an increase in distance traveled. Back of the tires, 21 inches. And it ran all the way to 22 until it got stopped.
Okay. All right, now we got to do the highest. All right.
All right.
Now we pretty sure this was going to go far, so we're going to kind of readjust a little bit so we can get some accurate measurements. Let's take. Uh-oh. All right, here we go.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
You're still here.
Still
all right,
here.
Cool. Last one. Oh!
That's all right.
That's all right. See, look at that. Failure happens all the time. Can you hold it for me right there?
Yes.
All right.
Wheel stopped at 24 and a half.
Okay.
That's trial 1, correct?
Yep, trial
All
1.
right.
All right.
Trial 2 from
Uh-oh.
23.
Uh-oh.
It's all right. Back tire stopped at 30.
Okay, awesome. All right, so, and we can do the same thing with the timing of it. We can measure how long it takes the car to get from the top of the ramp to the bottom of the ramp. And we have another chart as well for that one. And we can take the average for each one. And so what this does is help students understand that speed is actually how fast something is traveling, the distance it's traveling versus the time it is. So on the back side, we have a few questions that we can ask students. What did you observe? How do you find the average? So you can teach students about average, teach them about the mean, and also teach them how to solve for the speed or acceleration.
This is also something for our older kids. This is one of Newton's laws. I believe it's force equals mass times acceleration, and we can do calculations and make predictions based on those things.
All right.
Yep.
So I think that wraps it up for our time. These are some activities that we offer here at STEM NOLA. Again, my name is Jazmine.
This is Adam.
And we're out.
Thank you for joining us.
Great. Thank you all for having us today. We have a couple of questions here. Some people want to know where can they find info about replicating the models that we do or the activities that we do. You can go to www.stemnola.com or www.stemglobalaction.com. We started doing a lot of these hands-on activities. That's a studio we built during COVID and allowed us to engage kids in 47 states and 5 countries after mailing the kits and activities to their home upon request. Someone else asked, could this be sponsored by school districts or state departments of education? We work with the Department of Defense. We replicated our model along the Gulf Coast and throughout Louisiana, working with the Department of Defense. We've worked with state boards of education, with school districts. We have a saying that say we go where other people will not go. We believe that STEM is for everybody. And what we've done is that we've curated activities that help demystify STEM for all students. We believe STEM should be culturally and environmentally relevant. So we believe it's something that should be scaled nationwide, and we're working like crazy to move the model. We now have STEM Illinois with the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. We have STEM Camden, New Jersey. We had an event there a couple of months ago. We're about to start back, but we have STEM Mobile, STEM Central Louisiana, STEM Northern Louisiana, STEM NOLA in New Orleans, and also STEM along the Gulf Coast from Gulfport, Biloxi, all the way to Panama City Beach, Florida. Again, my background is I'm by trade, education. I have a degree in mathematics and all the degrees in mechanical engineering up to the PhD. So my goal is to demystify science, technology, engineering, and math for our students, such that when you give them the equations or they start doing the actual calculations, it make relevant sense to their life. And that's what all of the activities and all of the things that we've put together is about. How did you develop your communication with private stakeholders? We believe a high functioning community is one that is child-centered, adult-governed, elder rule, meaning when we wanted to create our high functioning STEM community, we said that we was going to focus on kids and the families. We was going to surround those kids with the adults in our STEM community, which was the college students. So we do a lot of communications with colleges and facilitating college students into the community and into the classroom. We put over $3 million in the hands of college students in the last 10 years. And then we surround those college students with STEM professionals. And we call that vertical mentoring. So my sons grew up with a PhD in engineering at home. The question is, how do we marshal that human capital and that technical capital into other schools, into other communities, such that kids can see, touch, and feel those people? So we have a robust communication strategy to talk to the different stakeholders. The way we talk to the community and the parents is different from the way that we speak to the college students, and it's definitely different from the way we speak to our professional stakeholders. So the communication strategy is very robust. We can have a conversation about that offline if you email me. But usually that's where a lot of people go wrong. A lot of school districts go wrong in their ability to communicate to communities. That's with STEM NOLA, that's where we started. We know we had to demystify STEM, and we had to communicate it in such a way that the community and the kids were willing to digest it. And that's really our competitive advantage. Do we have programming at every grade band? We usually break our programming down K through 2nd, 3rd through 5th, 6th through 8th, and 9th through 12th. One unintended consequences of what we do is that we start training college students, and we start realizing that the college students were benefiting also. This summer, we had a summer camp around artificial intelligence, and we're doing artificial intelligence and after school for middle schoolers, and the college students are learning as much as now the middle schoolers. Another question. Yes, it is very important that we make phenomena the mission, right? I mean, the outcome will be, I keep telling people, people in STEM education, they focus on the pedagogy, they focus on the verbiage, they focus on the definitions, and that's good. But if you're not actually doing something in STEM, then that's not STEM for me. That's my personal opinion. At the end of the day, as an engineer, you learn, then you apply. And that would make STEM education, supposed to make STEM education different from everything else. And that's what builds the critical thinking skills in our students. When they apply and they begin to work together, like you saw Adam and Jazmine working together, that's the collaboration you got to have in STEM education. That's the communication you got to have in STEM education. And that's the critical thinking you got to have in STEM education. Does STEM NOLA offer summer programming? The answer is yes. This summer, we had 55 weeks of summer camps. We engaged nearly 6,500 kids. We worked side by side with Jefferson Parish School System right outside of New Orleans, the largest school district in the state of Louisiana. And we did like their academic camp for 4 weeks. And we provided the STEM to all the kids that were in their academic enrichment camp. But we provide our own camps. That was a large undertaking. We had 80 college students. But what we have done now is that we are in a position to help other people run camps in your community. We can provide the curriculum, we can provide the pacing, we can provide the supplies, everything you need to bring such program to your community, because we believe every kid in every community deserves to be exposed to STEM with integrity, but also STEM with fidelity. Do we work with teachers? Yes, we was just, the National Science Teachers Association just highlighted the work that we're doing with teachers. When we first started STEM NOLA, teachers would come out and actually, you know, they would take the stuff. When we finish a Saturday with 150 kids, like 50 other directions will be gone. I'm like, what is happening in all these directions? And teachers was taking them, going back into their schools and implementing them. And I realized then, this is what teachers need. They have the pedagogy. What they don't have is the relevant, cogent, hands-on activities that's written for them. A lot of times curriculum is written for teachers and for curriculum people and standards, and the language is such that the teachers are talking to each other, but when you put it in front of kids, they have no idea. We spend a lot of time making the language with our curricula and our activities very clear, such that when our volunteers come or parents come, they can understand it. Somebody said, could you share some reading on that? I don't know what that is, but I write a lot for Forbes. If you Google my name in Forbes, a lot of this I've written independent articles on high functioning STEM community, on how STEM is going to displace blue collar as well as white collar workers. How it's not that STEM is going to displace workers. STEM is going to displace, workers using STEM and artificial intelligence is going to displace workers. Written about how we have to make STEM not only accessible, but we have to demystify it for all in our community so that they can move forward and make conscious decisions for their children about the future. Yes, my contact is www.stemnola.com. Email is info, I-N-F-O, @stemnola.com. Like I tell the young students, I'm like Tupac, I'm not hard to find. My name is Calvin Mackie. If you Google me, I believe somebody will put my contact all over line. So you can definitely find me. Have we worked with program evaluators? The answer is absolutely yes. We're having a robust evaluation of our program now. For me, I don't think you get much out of asking a first grader or second grader. Are they more likely to be an engineer now? But we're doing a robust evaluation of the parents and having the parents evaluate the progress that they've seen in their kids since they've been working with us. We have a lot of evaluation. People come in and observe the kids and how they respond. But, this is what I often say to people about program evaluation. When kids show up on a Saturday morning at 8:30 in the morning in low-income, low-resource communities mainly, with nothing in their hand, and they spend 3.5 hours working with college students and STEM professionals, and after 3 to 3.5 hours, they leave with something that they built and it works. That's the greatest evaluation you can have right there. So we work with program evaluators because we have a lot of federal grants that requires that. But we also make sure that we're not school 2.0 and we don't peek and poke our children. The children come and we allow them, what we allow middle class kids to do, explore, think, and be free. We allow them to be. And I think that's what makes the program so impactful. And we've traced kids that we started working with 10 years ago who are now in med school, in engineering school. Some are engineers, some are doctors, and they're saying, but for this introduction, I don't know, this is where I would be. So I don't know how much time we have, but I'd like to say thank you all. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you for your commitment to our children. And as Bob Moses said, math education is the hope for everybody who's trying to, get out of poverty, and is the key to everybody definitely not ending up in poverty. Math education changed my life, and I'm committed to everyone who's trying to help kids learn math, because I understand and I know and I've experienced the power of mathematics and the power of a committed teacher who believed in me.